Welcome back, everybody. So I'm not gonna lie, it's been a long time, maybe like a year since I've even talked about Unreal Engine. I was getting really into it. I was making landscapes. I was making small games. I was working with this little company where they had me do some small things for them, like little mini games and little things like that. That was fun, and I had a great time. But I'll be honest, Unreal Engine 5 has just gotten crazy. It's like fluids, it's like simulations, it's like chaos, it's like mocap this, mocap that, facial this, AR, 3D scan that. And I'm just like, when are we going to get back to making video games? What happened to making video games with Unreal Engine? Like, all that stuff is cool, but I'm trying to make some games. I'm trying to figure this stuff out. So, that's what I'm gonna be focusing on for from here to December, right? I have a couple projects. I have this one car project I started. Ended up being a little harder than I thought it would be because I can't figure out how to exactly make more game mechanics for the car. I'll get into that in another video. For this video, I'm talking about this whole thing with Unreal Engine and how Unreal Engine 5 is just, it's wicked, right? Like Lumen sometimes is good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes you need rectangular lights here, rectangular lights there, point lights with hard shadows, soft shadows, I don't know, right? All this crazy stuff. We're gonna get into that too, though, but it is something else, and it's hard to keep up with sometimes. So that what I'm gonna do is stream these things that I'm going through by creating something different. I'm not gonna start from scratch with this project that I'm gonna be working on that I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna use some assets, and basically for this project it's more about making some like game frameworks, showing you guys how that works, setting up, character mechanics, and trying to make something interesting. Like Wukong is a game that I think has a lot of good potential. Somebody's just releasing some squirrel game and gun in a squirrel game. Like looks like Matrix Squirrel Uno. No, what's it called? Like what was it? Neo Squirrel destroying like the guys in suits and stuff, and it's like that's cool, I guess. What else just came out? The cat game, the cat, with the robots. The robots are all confused about the cat, and it's like it's kind of cool. If it was Grumpy Cat, I'd be more excited, to be honest. But whatever. I'm just like, I you know, I I grew up on Pokemon. I grew up on like Twisted Metal. I grew up on what else did I grow up on? Like you know, those two were my favorites. Spyro was another favorite. You know, some other games I can't even remember anymore. But those they're really stuck in my head the most. And I don't know, they were so simple, and it was fun. It was cool. They were quick and easy, and I don't know. I want to stick to that. So basically, in this video, what I'm going to show is how to do a couple little things. So let me just show you for now. Let me go back to something I was looking at. pull something up. All right, here we go. So here, there's this project that I bought a while back. I've been taking it. I took a look at it because I was thinking like when I first started learning Unreal, it was like 4.25, and so I was like, what if I go to 4.23, do some HTML thing, so people can play online? And I'm just like, nah, that's not even the wave anymore. So I'm just gonna go straight to Unreal Engine 5 and make hopefully something cool, right? And you guys can help me out and give me some ideas as we go along. So basically, I'm gonna use this project because this project comes with the animation blueprint, comes with a game mode already. It comes with some logic about shoot like hand projectile movements, and it's like you're like a mage, right? That's like a wizard, and yeah. So I really liked it when I saw the video of it, and we'll get into it as we go along. But it has some of the logic that I don't want to create. I want to focus more on the art and the game framework and mechanics. So that's what we're gonna do. But right now, what's going on is I like to start blank projects and then migrate what I need over. So that's what I'm gonna do. And in my blank project, I started it in C++ and also with ray tracing on because I have a RTX 2070 Super. So we're going to be using that if it comes down to it. I want to be able to use it. I'm not sure if I even put this up like on itch.io for you guys to play, and if you guys want to, we'll see. If this picks up steam, cool. If it doesn't, whatever. I'm just using it as a learning project. I want to create a portfolio. Nobody's really doing that. Nobody's really showing like, I come from an art background. I have an associates in science and working on my bachelor's in computer science, but I really have an emphasis in art. And I'm not going to show you all my old artwork, but that's kind of where I come from. So I've been doing some work for a small company, and like I said, I did a couple things for them that I can't even really show because they don't let me. So I did that for like 2 years with them, and I don't really have anything to show for it because they won't let me use any of it, which is fine. I mean, they paid me, so I learned and I got paid. Maybe I'll tell you guys about how to do that for yourselves, do some freelance work like that, but it's time I use that knowledge and make something interesting, and then put it out to the world, and maybe you guys can learn something from it. So let's get started. Right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up that project because once you buy it, you can create the project. I created it in 4.27, but I'm just using it so I can migrate the assets over. So here's the project. If I press play, you'll see I'm able to use the things, and yeah, it's all good. All the logic is there, but I just want to migrate this over. So I go to the content browser. Here's the folder. Migrate. Okay, I want all of it, and I'm gonna move it to the base game that I created in Unreal Engine 5 that has nothing in it. There's nothing here. It's a complete blank project with ray tracing and C++ on. I learned a little C++. It's pretty difficult, to be honest. So I just like to have it on there in case somehow I'm able to use it. And then obviously the ray tracing stuff is cool, and we'll see what we do with that. So it says content migration is successful. And yeah, I'm gonna leave this open because there's something else I need to do. Now I'm gonna show you guys why. So now I go back to my base game that I migrated everything over to. I'm gonna turn it on. Now I've already enabled all the plugins that I personally like to use, and as we go along, I'll show you guys what they are, but you guys can turn it on if you follow along or you're just curious about what I'm doing, cool, whatever. So then the other thing we're gonna do is check out this, right? So Control spacebar opens up this little thing down here, the content browser, and this is a part of the game framework. We got some enums, you know, the HUD, which I think this is just a crossbar, or the little cross in the center. I forget what it's called. But here's the game mode that's gonna use all that all together. So I want to just highlight it and plug it in right here. What you're gonna see is I can't do anything. So I can move. Oh, looks like it actually is working. So the reason I wasn't supposed to be able to do anything, but I already did this and I had to re-record. Anyways, I'm like digressing. So basically, I needed to put in the project settings. Let's see if I can delete it. Inputs. All these inputs weren't here because it was a blank project. So I'm going to show you how to put all the inputs, even though I already have them. You could just follow along. In case you could do this with any kind of project if you don't have any inputs, but you created a project and you want to transfer over the inputs. Basically, what you do is you go to project settings in the project that is created with all the proper inputs, and this is the one where everything works properly, and here are the proper inputs, right? I export this, and then you'll create a new file. I already did this, so it's called input backup, but when I created it, I called it mage inputs. So I created that, save it. It'll save everything that we need, so I can close out of that, and then you can import it. Desktop, mage inputs, open, and basically they'll all get put in there. So now everything will work properly, right? So there it is. So now we're in Unreal Engine 5. We got a little bit of that God shadows right there. I mean, what are these called? God rays. So yeah, that's what we're doing. I just wanted to show that today, and it was really poorly done, but basically that's my rant, and hopefully maybe that helps somebody out there. I'm gonna call it Unreal Engine Rant and also some transfer inputs or something. But yeah, so it's also late and I'm tired, so that's basically what's going on. So I got it on, I got everything working. The next video is going to be about putting the projectile on the hand, and then developing the frameworks and health bars, and we'll go along and it'll be a whole little project. Alright, well, hope you guys liked my rant or didn't like it. Honestly, I don't care. Unreal Engine 5 is really annoying sometimes. So Epic Games, they did a good job. It's just what everybody's using Unreal Engine 5 is kind of like you need a really good PC for it, and normal people are just left behind, to be honest. Like I said, I didn't start off knowing anything about computers and none of that. I just kind of got into it. Took me like a year to understand, and then 2 years of practicing and working with this company, and I did it at an okay rate, and a lot of learning, a lot of hard times, to be honest. But we made it. We made it to the other side, and we're going to create something really awesome. So stay tuned. All right, take it easy.